Radhe Krishna Radhe, Jai Radhe Krishna Radhe, Radhe Krishna Radhe Krishna Radhe Krishna Radhe,
and that is the way to lead your life as well. What is in your hand, you do that. Focus on doing it to the best of your ability for the pleasure of God with purity of intention, and trust Him to keep on evolving your soul through different situations to the final destination. Let's move ahead. 15. Sarvasya cham hridhi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Vedaishcha sarvairahameva vedyo Vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Translation. I am seated in the hearts of all living beings, and from me comes not memory, knowledge, as well as forgetfulness. I alone am to be known by all the Vedas, am the author of the Vedanta, and the knower of the meaning of the Vedas. So Shree Krishna now, he says, look, you get the faculty of knowledge. Now the scientists will say there is an organ called the brain, and they attribute it to the brain. But if you wonder how astonishing this brain is, now of course face recognition technology has developed to a great extent. But still, it can be fooled. You know, I use it to log into my Windows, and every once in a while, Windows say, I did not recognize you. On the other hand, look at the face recognition that you are doing. You meet your classmate, ex-classmate after 20 years, and your brain analyzes. Say, Arey bhai Ramesh, we met 20 years ago, but you've changed so much. You've lost weight or you gained weight. Now, no face recognition technology created by humans can match the technology that is in your brain. And the same thing with voice technology. You know, first time when I came to the US, so I had to actually learn typing. Then I said, isn't there some shortcut? So this was the year 2000, I'd come for a little while. So somebody said, okay, Swamiji, I have got IBM has got some dictation software. And I tried it, and it gave all wrong results. So I said, this is not going to work. And then I said, you know, is there some scanning software, supposing I want to convert text into a soft copy file? Again, it was coming all wrong. Now things have improved a little bit. Those kinds of mistakes are not happening that were happening 25 years ago. But nevertheless, your brain can still not be excelled, because you can read all kinds of writing styles. You can make out, somebody calls me on the phone. I say, Radhe, 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 Swamiji. Who's speaking? Swamiji, you please guess who's speaking. Now he knows that I am speaking to so many thousands of people, but he wants me to remember his voice and guess from his Radhe, Radhe. And usually we are, Arey, you are so and so. So the point is, this brain is so astonishing. Shree Krishna says, Arjun, knowledge and remembrance, they are both coming from me. Plus, he says, forgetfulness is also coming from me. See, the memory has got two aspects. One is the short-term memory, like the RAM, and one is the long-term memory. Like, for example, they have discovered that if we give you 7 digits, 7, 3, 5, 4, 9, 8, 2, 1, people are able to listen and recall and repeat. So the short-term memory of an average person is for 7 items. But if I ask you now, what did I say, 7 items? You will say, Swamiji, ab bhul gaye. So there is a long-term memory as well. In fact, many people have estimated, why do we dream? They say, it's getting transferred from the short-term to the long-term memory now. As people are trying to analyze why dreams happen. Nevertheless, if we did not forget, imagine the amount of clogging that would happen. There would be an overstacking of information. So that is why this forgetfulness is also coming from him. Both the three, smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Now these are the internal knowledge sources. And then he says, Arjun, the external knowledge source is the Vedas. So he says, there are 3 titles out here. Vedantakrit Vedavit evachaham. He says, Arjun, I am the creator of the Vedas. I am the knower of the Vedas. And by all the Vedas, I am to be known. So how did these Vedas come into existence? In our Indian tradition, they are called apaurushaya. Apaurushaya means no human being created them. And yet they are there. So the Vedas are considered the ultimate authority in our Sanatana Dharma. Any principle must be validated on the authority of the Vedas. Bhutam bhavyam bhavishyancha sarvan Vedat prasiddhyati. So why are the Vedas so respected? Because they are not a human creation. If they were a human creation, they could have been a mistake. But when they are non-human origin, now they are beyond mistakes. So the great sages, when they wrote their scriptures, they referred to the Vedas. Tulsidas says, Nana Purana Nigamagama Sammatam Yat Ramayane. This Ramayana is not a figment of my imagination. I have written it as per the Nigam, Agam and Puran. Vedavyas himself, he says, Arthoyam Brahma Sutranam Sarvopanishadam api. This Brahma Sutra, this Bhagavat is the meaning of the Brahma Sutra and the Upanishads. So the Upanishads is the Gyan Upasana Kand of the Vedas. In fact, for the Bhagavad Gita also, Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandana. These Upanishads are like the milk bestowing cow, and the milkman is Shree Krishna, who's taking that knowledge and bestowing it. So those Vedas are transcendental. Shree Krishna says, they have come from me. Second point, I am the knower of the Vedas. You can keep on reading the Vedas for ages. You will not fathom the essence of them. You will say, this is what was written here, that is what was written here. What does it all amount to? Once, in the year 1993, I had just started my prachar in Odisha, 32 years ago. And I was speaking in Jagannath Puri, the holy town. And there were only 3 Sanskrit universities in the country, and one was in Puri. So the head of the Sarva Darshan Vibhag used to come and attend the philosophy department. And he was very happy with what he heard, so he invited me to the Sanskrit university. I was a 32-year-old. So all these great Pandits, so I gave them a little bit of knowledge that I received from my Guru. That why do we want happiness? Because God is the ocean of happiness and we are parts of Him, but we have turned our back and so covered by Maya and this and that. And they all were shocked. They said, oh my God, we were so confused and now it is so easy. So the point is, you can keep on and on and on studying. Shrutir vibhinna smritayo vibhinna naiko muniryasya vacha pramanam shastrasya tattvam nihitam guhaya mahajano yena gatasya pantha. Mere scholastic study of the Vedas will never make you their knower. The only person who knows the Vedas is God. And if He graces someone, or if you become the benefactor of His grace through the Guru, you can also know God. Bhagavad says, Shat Shastra Vetta Nigama Pravinas Tatha Gama Vyakaranadinishtaha Bina Harer Bhagavata Prasadam Janati Ko Bhagavatantarartham. So God is the creator of the Vedas. God is the knower of the Vedas. And by His grace, anybody can know. 4-year-old Dhruv came to know because God blessed him. And by all the Vedas, God is to be known. The Vedas have so many instructions. There are so many rituals. Why is all this? Parokshvado vedoyam. It's like a sugar-coated pill. Now you want to administer the pill, the medicine to the child. Child says, this is bitter, I will not eat it. So the pharma company has it coated with sugar. Now the child says, yummy, yummy, it's all right. Likewise, the Vedas realize that majority of society doesn't even want God. So they say, okay, if you want material things, we'll tell you how to get it. But Sarve Veda Yat Padaman Mananti, the ultimate purpose of all the mantras is God. Vasudeva Para Veda, Vasudeva Para Makha, Vasudeva Para Yoga, Vasudeva Para Kriya, Vasudeva Parang Jnanam, Vasudeva Parantapa, Vasudeva Paro Dharmo, Vasudeva Paragati. That is why if you get lost in the rituals and don't develop love for God, then you have not really understood the meaning of all these rituals. And that is why we need to understand that the essence of all these scriptures is to help us develop love for God. People ask, how will I attain Him? Swamiji, if I awaken my Kundalini, will I attain God realization? Or supposing I dry up my body through austerities by practicing tapasya in the Himalayas, will I attain the Supreme? Or if I offer 1,000 cows in charity in Godan, will the work be done? No. Listen to what the scriptures are saying. The Vedas are saying, Upasate Purusham ye ya kamaste te shukrame tadati vartanti dhira. You will need to give up your material desires and do upasana or bhakti of God. Now here from the Bhagavatam, Shree Krishna says, Bhaktyaha mekaya grahya shraddhayatma priyas satam bhaktim punati mannishtha shvapakana api sambhavat. Uddhav, Shree Krishna says, Bhaktyaha mekaya grahya. This much of Sanskrit I think everybody understands, right? Look, Uddhav, by bhakti alone am I known. And listen to what Shree Krishna says in the Gita. Purusha sa parapartha bhaktya labhyastvananyaya yasyantasthani sarvani yena sarvamidantatam. Look, Arjun, God is everywhere. But bhaktya labhyastvananyaya. Without bhakti you will not attain. And let's listen from the Ramayana. Milahin raghupati binu anuraga kiye yoga japa jnana viraga. Tulsidas ji says, look, without love you will not attain him. Rama hi keval prema piyara. So what about those sadhaks who are very elevated? Do they also need to love? Can they not just do, meditate on the Nasagra or the Bhrumadhya? Tulsidas knew this question will be asked. So he says, Sadhak, Siddha, Vimukta Udasi, Kavi Kovid, Kritagya Sannyasi, Yogi, Sura Sutapas Gyani, Dharma Nirata Pandita Vigyani, Taraina Binu Seye Mam Swami Rama Namami 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 Milahina Raghupati Binu Anuraga Kiye Yoga Japa Jnana Viraga. So that is why it is said Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tatha Adau Madhye Tatha Jante Hare Sarvatra Gyate. All these scriptures, they are telling you to love God. But people underestimate the importance of the sadhan called bhakti. If somebody asks me, Swamiji, how to do pranayam? And I say, look, you use the Nasagra mudra and with the thumb and your third finger, you do the Pura Krecha Kumbhak. That's all. Hey, this Swamiji doesn't know anything. No. You take your left hand and put it behind your back and 3 of your fingertips should be visible, not the 4th one. And take your right hand and put it over the head and then hold your nose and now do pranayam. This must be a very special pranayam. Likewise, if somebody says, how will I attain God? And I say, look, give up your household, go and live in the cave in the Himalayas, don't wear any clothes, apply ashes and lie on a bed of thorns and hang upside down and eat dry leaves and you'll get darshan of God. This must be a special sadhana. But if God needs us to do all that, He is not God, He is a madman. God says, Arey beta, you are my little child. All you need to do is love me. That's all I want you to do. And all the scriptures are saying it. So that is why Vedas, after writing all these scriptures, he said, now I have to present the essence of it to human beings. Otherwise, who has got the time to read all these scriptures? So he says, Alodya sarva shastrani vicharya cha punah punah. He says, I have churned the scriptures and contemplated over them. Now when he had to write the Mahabharata, Ved Vyas did not contemplate. He said, look, I will keep speaking and somebody has to keep writing. I am not going to take a pen and become the scribe. So who is going to write the scripture of 100,000 verses? People readied Ganesh, Buddhi ke data. Ganesh ji said, all right, I'll do it, Ved Vyas, but I have got one condition. You speak and I will write. But you will not stop to think. If you do, I'll put my quill down and I'll not lift it up again. Ved Vyas said, this is a very severe condition now. Ari Baba, if I need to think, he will put his quill down and then the Granth will remain incomplete. So Vedvyas said, all right, Ganeshji, I'll speak and you write. But before you put it in writing, you will understand the meaning of what I say and only then write it down. So now Vedvyasji got a little lever. He would speak and Ganeshji would write. But whenever Vedvyas wanted a little break, he would compose a complex verse which would get Ganeshji to start thinking, what did this mean? So Vedvyas would get an opportunity, he'd go do his daily ablutions, have a little snack and come back. That is the kind of scholar Vedvyas is. He just speaks and Ganeshji has to write. But in this verse he says, Vicharya cha punah punah. So he has composed 8,000 Kuta Shlok in the 400,000 verses of the Puranas. But he says here that I have contemplated on the essence of the scriptures. Idamekam sunishpannam dhyeyo narayano hari. They all are teaching us how to love God. So he is the object of the Vedas.